There's going to be a day that's coming soon within the next 6 months where I'm not the Baylor quarterback anymore. And so just being able to sit back and say like, wow, that was something cool that I got to experience and something that I'm going to get to tell my kids one day has been awesome. And I think, there might be a lot of like pressure that might come with that if you look at it from that lens. But at the end of the day, like, I just feel like being yourself every day, being myself every day, that's all that I can ask for, and just being genuine, knowing who I am, knowing my foundations and my faith, all of that has made it, it's relieved all that pressure. Like I said, if you're the quarterback of a university, like, it comes with some weight.
Here with the quarterback today, Sawyer Robertson, off to an outstanding 2025 season. As we visit, he leads the nation in passing yards, passing touchdowns, passing yards per game. But his story is much bigger than that. We're excited to have him here with us today on Baylor Connections. And Sawyer, great to have you with us. Appreciate you taking the time in a game week.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Well, a lot of exciting things going on for the football team, for you. The team's got some big wins under their belt, and coming off the bye week, now an opportunity to really build a strong second half of the season. And, there's a lot of places that you get to talk about that. We want to get to know you a little better, as we said here, as a teammate, as a student here at Baylor. But people know you for football. So let's just start right there.
Yeah.
If we were in the huddle with you, if we're in the huddle, we're on the sideline, what would we see? Maybe what would your teammates say? Who would they say you are in the huddle and in the locker room?
Yeah, probably a combination of things. I think it starts with competitiveness. I've always been a competitive person, whether it's on the football field, in the locker room, ping pong table. I have a dartboard at my house, just everything. Like, everything is driven by competitiveness. I think that stems from my older brother. We were 18. I'm the younger sibling, obviously. He's 18 months older than me, basically like twins. And so everything we did, we competed in. And it's just so many great memories there, but that kind of carried with me throughout the course of my life. And so that would probably be the first thing that my teammates would say, is just a competitive person. And after that, hopefully, like on the sidelines and stuff, just like there's a level of calmness and poise as well. Just as a quarterback, leadership position, all the stuff, there's so much havoc and chaos, it seems like, that happens on the sidelines, just in the football game, right? Like, people hitting each other, there's a lot of pain, everything. And so hopefully, like, when people look at me, it like calms them down a little bit, and we get back to kind of that level mindset where it's like, okay, we can go out there and execute the game plan because we have this guy. And so hopefully those are the things.
Does being a competitive little brother mean you always had to give a little extra growing up?
Absolutely. He grew before I did. He was smarter than I was. Like, everything, he was just advanced. And so I had to get my competitive edge somewhere. And so that was, whether that was trying harder, maybe bending the rules a little bit in whatever game we were playing. But I did whatever I could to win and to be my older brother.
As quarterback, you're in a position where all eyes are on you. And, whether it's fair or not, there tends to be a lot of analysis of, well, did the quarterback win or did the quarterback lose? But you're a teammate. It's a team game. And I'm curious, what kind of teammate do you strive to be? Not just the quarterback, but as one of the guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the common like misconceptions of football. I think it's the best team sport ever. I think there's so many like statistics around the quarterback position just because like you can have them, whether it's completion percentage or yards or touchdowns, whatever it is. But I was saying this earlier, if the offensive line and the quarterback execute everything perfectly, which never happens anyway, but if they executed everything perfectly and the receiver doesn't catch the ball, there's no like praise and, oh, wow, he's so good. It'd be criticism, right? And so just having like a complete team and a group of guys, there's a cohesiveness that we all play for each other. We celebrate with each other. Just having that's where we see the success. And so hopefully, like, it's nothing more than that. My teammates don't see me as anything more than that, just than like one of the teammates, one of the guys that's trying to do their 1/11th every single play in order to have success on the field as a team.
As a team or as an individual, has there been a favorite moment for you in the first 6 weeks of the season so far?
I think the SMU game was fun to win just because it was the first win of the season. And so that would probably be mine as a team, just being able to get out of Dallas with a win. They're a ranked team. I think it was the first ranked win we've had in quite some time, a few years. And so that one would be my favorite team one. And then I think Trigg's catch against Kansas State, the one-handed catch, was really cool for me to see just from my point of view. being able to throw him the ball and see the way he caught it was really cool. So those two.
Got to be a great throw, right, for a one-handed catch.
I don't know. I'm not going to take any credit for that because that was all him.
Yeah, that SMU game, you guys are down 14 points going to that with under 10 minutes to go. Find a way to win. Very impressive. I think showed some fortitude from the guys for sure. Is it in the end zone? Is it elsewhere? When you think of your favorite moments with your teammates, I picture you all celebrating after that SMU game, but there's a lot of places we don't see you. Where are your favorite places to be with your teammates?
I would say probably most favorite is in the locker room after a win, right? You're celebrating the week of preparation and hard work. You go out and execute. You get the results you want, and then you celebrate with all the guys that you love after the game. So that's probably number one. The end zones are always fun. The dances, all that stuff's great. And then in the off season, like that time you get when all the students are gone, really the coaches are gone too, recruiting or whatever, and it's just really the strength coaches and you and your teammates, whether it's at the facility or you're going to the movies or going bowling or you're at somebody's house playing video games. Those are some awesome memories and ones that you don't forget as a part of a team. And so, but number one would probably be in the locker room after a win, and then all those other ones kind of feed into that as well.
Seems like y'all have a great culture, great chemistry as a group.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have guys that do their 111th every single play on the offensive side and the defensive side of the ball, that's where teams have the most success. And so it starts with the culture. You have to have that. And we have a really, really close locker room, and so it's fun to be a part of.
So I want to ask you a little bit about your path to being QB1 here at Baylor. I think in a lot of ways you look at your resume and all the signs that you see for being an elite quarterback are there. Record-setting high school career. You were a 4-star recruit. Now here you are leading the nation in several key passing categories. And yet it seems like your path to that was anything but direct. You had to wait a little bit. So I'm curious, take us inside that. And what has it meant to you to sort of have to wait for your time to come? How's that shaped you?
Yeah, I think it's been great. When I was going through all of the stuff, it was kind of like, I was feeling sorry for myself. I was like, why? Why can't I just be successful? All the things. But now looking back on it, I'm so thankful that stuff happened because, if I had all the success that I wanted, that I had planned for my life at 18 years old as a freshman, I don't think I'd be the type of person, the type of human being that I am right now. And so I think in a weird way, like those failures, the adversity, all the things that I went through, just humbled me and molded me in a way that I needed, right? Because I think it was a way that God was just saying like, hey, you're not ready yet for what, the stage is and for all these things. And so basically I was just molded into getting ready. And so I'm super thankful for all of the adversity, everything that I went through, because I think it molded me into who I am. And now that I'm in this stage, I'm able to just kind of live in who I am and be comfortable in knowing that.
Well, you touched on the spiritual aspect. It seems like so many stories in the Bible are indicative of it's God's timing and not our own timing. How real does that feel to you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny you say that. We're going through, in our Bible study, we're going through Joseph right now, right? And Joseph, obviously sold by his brothers, went through all this stuff and ended up being like second in command over Egypt, right? If God had told him like, hey, this is where you're going to end up, anybody would sign up for that, right? He'd be like, yeah, of course, like, let me do that. But it's like if God had showed him all the stuff that he would have to go through in order to get there, it'd be like, oh, maybe he'd be a little more hesitant. And so I think in a weird way, like all the stuff that happens to us, like I said, the trials, the tribulations, I think that's God's way of just molding us into the person that he wants us to be.
You mentioned Bible study. Is that team-led, player-led? What's that look like?
Player-led, yeah. So we started a few years ago, completely no coaches in there. We do it Tuesday nights, and we just basically pick a topic that we're going to discuss. Michael Allen is kind of the one who like takes it all. Like he's the one who organizes the whole thing basically. And then we watch our video and we split off into small groups. Small groups are about 5 to 6 people, and we talk about the video. We get a good group every single week. We get about 30 guys, maybe 40 guys that show up, and it's grown since we first started it. So just being a part of that has been something really, really cool. And it's going to be something that I look back on 20 years from now and be like, man, that's cool that we got to do that in college.
That's amazing. Yeah. I look and I think, Sawyer, we see things, you've been able to share your faith in different ways in interviews, remember that moment in the Texas Bowl last year when Whit Weeks, went down with an injury, and you were able just to be there in the moment and pray for him. And I'm curious, you've got a platform that most students don't have. What does it mean to you to use that platform to amplify your faith, to lift Christ high, and to really show people a different side of sports at this level?
Yeah, I think it's the whole reason for why I believe I'm doing what I'm doing. I think God's just using me as a vessel in order to do that on the stage that I'm doing it on, right? And so with the LSU player in the bowl game, it really wasn't obviously it wasn't like a thought out thing, and I had actually done it a couple times before that throughout the course of the season. It's just that's the one that got the photo taken, and that's the one that got captured. But it's if that was me, right, I would want somebody else to do that for me, or if that was my son, I would want somebody to do that for my son. So there wasn't a whole lot of thinking in that moment. It was more just reactionary. And that was kind of the first thing that I went to because I don't know, it probably because of how Baylor has shaped me, and like I said, just how everything I've learned throughout the years in my lifetime and how I was raised. That was kind of the first thing I thought of to do, and so just being able to do that on the stage is truly a blessing. And I think at the end of the day, that's why I do what I do.
Well, it feels like a great fit for you here at Baylor, and it sounds like it is for you as well, being a part of that. I want to ask you about being a student as well. You're a student athlete. There's two sides of the coin. We see out there on the field on Saturdays or the occasional Friday, but you got some good stats there as well. A 3.73 GPA. That's very impressive. A marketing major in the Hankamer School of Business. So, favorite class at Hankamer? Do you have a favorite class?
I did. So I did the S3. I did the S3 program with Dr. Wakefield, and it was awesome because I think a lot of it is perfect for me. Right. I want to be around sports. Don't necessarily want to be a coach with my whenever I'm done playing. And so that job was great because it's kind of the business side of sports. And so both of my S3 classes that I took were just fantastic because I got to learn about basically the business side of sports, the naming rights, the sponsorships, the ticket sales, all of that. And so I just really, really enjoyed those classes and also got some hands-on experience with it as well.
You mentioned Dr. Wakefield. I'm sure he and have there been him or other professors you feel like have really taken the time to kind of invest in the student side of you? Yeah,
it's pretty incredible just how different professors are here, whether it's praying before a class or before a test, just things like that, where it's just real personable. You don't just feel like another student in any of the classes. But yeah, Dr. Wakefield was a great one. And then I've just had so many, honestly, too many more to name, but he's definitely one that stands out.
I would imagine that you keep pretty busy just focusing on the things you have to focus on, but are there aspects of the business of sport that you find maybe you don't have to think about it for class, but you want to think about it, or you notice maybe a team is doing this sales or marketing wise? Do you ever notice things like that?
Here and there, after being in the class, you're just more aware of it, whether it's the logo, especially with all the logos on jerseys now and all of that stuff. You're just okay, well, there were conversations there was a business deal that had to happen in order for that to even be a thing. Whereas before, all the all the sponsorships, everything that wasn't on the jersey, it might have been on the stadium, all that stuff. But it's cool to kind of see that side of it.
Yeah, you kind of see the game behind the game, right, on the business side now, for sure. You also, obviously, you are very busy, whether it's playing, being a student, even doing things like this, taking the time to do these interviews. Service is a big part of what you do as well. Why is that important to you, and how do you find the time to, navigate all of that and blend all that together?
Right. Yeah, I think, one, it's super important, just being able to serve, whether it's in the community. Honestly, I think the best part of that is just getting to meet new people and hear different stories about where people come from. Not every story is like your own, right? And so just being open and aware to that has been really kind of eye-opening for me and really cool for me. Whether it's a team activity and we're going out and serving, or just a lot through the Bible study too. We go out and we make little packs of food and things, and go around, give them to the homeless, whatnot, all that stuff. And so I think it's huge just because it's cool to meet new people like that, and then just being able to find the time to do that. It's not a thing. You make the time, right? It's like anything else. It's not hey man, I'm just so busy. I've got, I don't have a whole lot of options to do this. But it's you're gonna prioritize it, and so you make the time to do something because you feel like it's necessary.
Other sports at Baylor. Obviously, you're pretty busy this time of year, but are there other sports at Baylor you like to attend or cheer on when you find the time?
Absolutely. I went to quite a few home basketball games last year. Had a blast. Those are awesome. And then I love going to the ballpark watching a baseball game. So I went to literally, I think, every home baseball game last year. Didn't necessarily stay the whole time, but at some point, like I went for either the back half of the game or the beginning of the game, just because I think it was a nice like little escape from like my world of like football. And so just getting to go and watch those guys play, it is really fun for me. It's kind of like a breath of fresh air. And so, yeah, I love supporting all the other sports, and it's just really cool to see other student athletes have success in their own respect.
Now, I know you've played baseball in high school. Your dad played professionally. Do you ever see the guys out there and think, I wouldn't mind trying to hit that curveball? Or
I do, man.
Yeah.
I do. I really do. I miss it. I think it's a great sport. Loved it. Loved playing it. I thought it was fun. Really everything about it is just great. I think it's good too because it's a sport of failure, right? You know, if you're a Hall of Famer, if you are successful 3 times out of 10, you know, you're one of the best in the league at what you do. And so I think just like those life lessons that you can learn from it are great. And I know that's kind of how my dad was. My dad raised me. Obviously he played, he got drafted, played baseball. And so I do. I mean, I love getting to go and watch. But you know, obviously God had a different plan for me. And we're living that out.
Yeah, we're glad you're playing quarterback here at Baylor for sure. Campus traditions, are there any you enjoy? Are there any aspects of just campus life away from athletics completely that are your favorites?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Baylor does a great job with all of that stuff. I think the two that stick out are probably, I would say FM 72 is really cool. And then my other favorite one is Christmas on 5th. Like I've gone there have been 2. I've gone both years to that. I'm going to go to the one this year too. And I think it's just fun to get you in the holiday spirit and whatnot. And so Baylor does a great job with all of those things. And so I'm looking forward to going to another one this year.
Would you go over there, check out the Living Nativity?
Yeah, I do. I sure do. Yeah. The camels are great. The camels are fantastic. And then, you know, the massive Christmas tree that they light up. Yeah. It's all great. I love it.
That's great. Big Christmas guy at FM 72, a great annual prayer service here at Baylor for those who aren't aware of it, but really a fantastic annual event here on campus. You know, well, Sawyer, as we wind down here on the program, bringing it all back together here for you, representing Baylor, representing this Baylor football program, what means the most to you about that? And what do you think? What aspects of that do you think will really stay with you when your time here is done?
I think what means the most is just like, you know, there's going to be a day when there's going to be a day that's coming soon within the next 6 months where I'm not the Baylor quarterback anymore. And so just being able to sit back and say like, wow, that was something cool that I got to experience and something that I'm going to get to tell my kids one day has been awesome. And I think, you know, there might be a lot of like pressure that might come with that if you look at it from that lens. But at the end of the day, like I just feel like being yourself every day, being myself every day, that's all that I can ask for, you know, and just being genuine, knowing who I am, knowing my foundations and my faith, all of that has made it. It's relieved all that pressure. Like I said, if you're the quarterback of a university, like it comes with some weight. But I think when you have that mindset, it relieves a lot of that pressure. And so that's just kind of how I've been living the past 2 years being in that position. But it's going to be fun one day to kind of look back and actually take a step back and look at all the things I got to do and just how much fun I had.
Well, some great moments to come, right? We got 6 more weeks in the regular season, and then what's ahead. Excited to see what you and this team can accomplish together, and really appreciate you taking the time to join us. Really proud of what you and your teammates are doing on and off the field.
Thank you for having me.
Great to have you here. QB1, Sawyer Robertson, our guest today on Baylor Connections. A reminder, you can hear these and other programs online at baylor.edu/connections, and you can subscribe to the program on iTunes. And, of course, got more home games upcoming here for Baylor football. The next is homecoming November 1st. Come on out to McLean Stadium and cheer on Sawyer and his teammates. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm Derek Smith. Thanks so much for joining us here on Baylor Connections.